He's going to give you his history. He has an awesome experience and background. So very excited to share with everyone here who doesn't know him and online. So take it away, George.
Thank you.
George. So my role in life is to add value to someone. It's to help you excel beyond your current level of success. And I felt that this was relevant to many people in life. The ups and downs, if you understand what a serial entrepreneur is for the last 29 years, that's what I've been. I've gone through the gamut. So I just want to run through this real fast. May 2nd, 1991, I was 23 years old and moved to Dallas, Texas, actually Fort Worth. I lived with a cousin was a second cousin, and I lived with his family, and I came down here to work for his company. Within 2 months, it was the recession of 91, that company went belly up. What am I going to do? Well, I identified the passion, what I was most passionate about, and that was everything to do with health and wellness. So I only had $4,000. I knew college wasn't going to teach me about personal training, and personal training was really important to me. That's what I was passionate about. So I spent money on these technical schools, and about 7 or 8 months later, I get a job at Premier Club, Mockingbird and Central. I think it's now called Lifetime. I had a motorcycle, no motorcycle insurance. One day, Mustang Donuts, who here knows Mustang Donuts? You're not supposed to know Mustang Donuts, okay?
I have 2 kids, so that.
So right there on Hillcrest across from SMU, Mustang Donuts, it was raining, the hardest rain I've ever seen come down in my life. Maybe because I was on a motorcycle. So I'm riding, guy cuts me off, I go down, didn't really get hurt. Guy stops and said, hey, I want to help you, let me give you my information. I said, no, get out of here. He said, I want to help. I said, get the hell out of here. Because I didn't have motorcycle insurance. I didn't want to get in trouble. He sees me limping, he said, no, I'm staying, I'm going to help you. He does. 2 weeks later, I get a $7,000 settlement. Well, guess what? I only had $500 left to my name after living here for that period of time. That was a blessing to me. There have been many blessings in my life. So anytime I get down, have a stressful day, all I have to do is go through this and realize I'm very blessed. $500 left to my name. Now, if you know Premier Club, they have a garage there. And in the garage, they have these marquees. They're backlit. And I did this thing. I was a real insecure kid when I was young. And I did this thing where I had a picture of myself with a side tricep like this. And it was called Body by George, personal training. Well, that actually helped me. And I made a name for myself. I became a personal trainer to people where I flew around the United States. Mark Cuban was a client of mine for 6 years. 4 years when he was only a millionaire, and 2 years when he was a billionaire. Michael Dell was a client of mine. I consulted him. I would fly down to Austin twice a week for about a year. Dennis Rodman. For those of you who are my age or older, Dick Smothers from the Smothers Brothers. I'm really aging myself. And then also for those of you who like country, younger person, Eli Young from the Eli Young Band. And there's a bunch more. So I made a name for myself doing that. In 2000, I left personal training. So I was only a personal trainer for about 8.5 years. Not a long time at all. But I made this name for myself. And it stuck with me for about another 15 years, even though I wasn't doing it anymore. That's what people associated me with. So I get into consulting for a little while, and I was tired of the session-by-session meetings, getting paid that way. I wanted to scale. 2005, I launched an online business. The first year, I made $487,000. It was just me. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I kind of did. What I mean by that is, I didn't know about the business aspect, how to grow the business yet. But what I did know is what I was passionate about, my distinct competencies, and my value proposition. No one in the space who had been in the space longer than me could compete with me because I offer more value than anybody can. As a lender for all realtors, I offer more value to you than any other lender possibly could or would. And I'll tell you more about that later. That's part of my value proposition. 2014, in the Chanel store with my then girlfriend in New York, my business was hacked. I had millions of dollars. By the time I got home, I had $30,000 left to my name. Okay? 8 months later, since I had the business tools now, I went to Harvard Business School, had the business tools, I launched another company, a software company. I put the team together, the value proposition, the distinct competencies, why we are the best at beating our chest. I helped raise $3.1 million. We became profitable August of 2019. January 2020, I had a $20 million offer on the table. I was going to be retired at 52 years old. COVID hits. Let go half of our staff. Lose my investment? What am I going to do? I mean, I'm in trouble. So I recognize I have tools to succeed because I've done it before and I can do it again. What am I best at? What am I passionate about? What are my value propositions? What's my distinct competency? And when I look at all of those things, I realized I can plug and play that into any business. So when someone comes up here, it's not a knock on anybody, when someone comes up here or someone's on an elevator or someone's at Starbucks or whatever, and they say, oh, you're going to buy a house or sell a house, use me. Why should I use you? What value did you offer for me to say, oh, I want a card? You're pushing a card on me. And we're going to really expand upon that now. So go to the next one, business foundation. Some of the information I'm going to share with you today is the very foundation that you need to distinguish you from your competition. There's a common theme, a common denominator between people and businesses who succeed during economic downturns, during disruptive innovation, and during increased competition. The content was created by encompassing or incorporating Harvard Business School case studies when I was there and my 29 years of business prowess. I'm putting that there not to brag. I'm putting that there to say, when I get to one slide, Chandra, there's certain things I don't want you commenting on here because you've gone through my program. When I get to this one slide, almost every single realtor, not everyone, but almost every realtor resists doing this. They don't see the value in it. They don't tell me that, but it's obvious. You can see that. Or they just don't want to do it because they get in their way emotionally. But this one slide, while it may seem fluffy, was done by Harvard Business School case study. Now, Harvard Law developed the case study method. I don't know if you know that. They then, throughout Harvard, create all these case studies. Why is that important? Because the case studies they create, they then sell to universities around the world. So when we get to this one slide, you're going to look at this and think, well, this really isn't that big of a deal. Do I really need to do this? Based on case studies and what makes businesses successful, yes. What helped me to come back from being squashed 3 times in my life, 23 years old, having $500 left to my name, 47 years old, having $30,000 left to my name, and 52 having to start over again? Yeah, they work. So let's talk about these things. Ignorance is not bliss. Who here meets or exceeds their transaction goals every single month? And if somebody comments online, and I mean realtors in particular, if somebody comments online that they meet or exceed their transaction goals online, would you let me know every single month? And I want to know when that started. Because I've had people say, yeah, I did that last year. Hey, that's great. Was that the first year? Yeah, that's the first year. Do you expect that to happen again going forward, is what I ask. Because last year, you should have killed it in real estate. Should have done really well. But some people didn't. Some people did, and they're going to rest on their laurels that they're going to continue to be successful. Have you prepared for an economic downturn? We know it's coming sometime next year. Could be 3 months into the year, 8 months into the year. It's coming. Have you prepared for the surge in competition? Have you prepared for disruptive innovation? Texas population surge. Realtors, a lot of you are familiar with this. About 4 million people moved to Texas from 2010 to 2019. The perspective is that's about 4 million people who only live, all the people that live in Oklahoma. But you may not have known this when it comes to real estate or realtors. 2018, 120,000 realtors in Texas, the highest realtor membership in the history of the organization. 2 years later, 140,000 realtors in Texas. That's 20,000 new realtors in Texas. You think you got some competition? And you say, George, well, hold on. Maybe a lot of those people are just going to sell one a year. Okay, economic downturn, increase in population of realtors, and if you only transact 1 or 2 or 3 homes a month, and you get people taking one here from you, one there from you, you might get down to 0, especially if there's an economic downturn. What differentiates you? How are you the problem solver in your business? I don't care if it's Alex Cohen in your business with fashion, Kyle, and Kyle's got, I'm pretty upset with Taylor, by the way, because you gave Kyle my presentation. Obviously, I got nothing else to talk about. He said everything.
What's happening?
So what's really cool here is, and I shared this with Kyle, a lot of what he mentioned, some of it I'll be mentioning, but it's just different words and it's different perspective, different angle. Mine's more business focused. He's more fun and inviting, and I'm just kind of serious. Anyway, so you can plug and play all of this that I'm sharing with you now into any business. I don't care what business you're in, but I'm trying to focus on realtors now. Okay? Oh, this is a fun one. 2019, the median gross income of realtors, $50,000 a year. Who in real estate signed up to make $33,000 a year? Fees, all your expenses and taxes, that's about what you'll make. You say, well, hold on, George, maybe that's the people selling only one a year. Okay, maybe it is, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's because those people don't know how they're different. Are they authentic? Are they posting like Kyle says? 1099 realtors, every one of you are a commodity. 1099 lenders, every one of you are a commodity. Guess what? If you're 1099, you're in sales, you're a commodity until you become an asset. How do you become an asset? By reaching your goals? Maybe, maybe not, but by identifying these other things I'm sharing with you. What makes you the best choice to sell or buy my home? Why? Why should I choose you? If you come up here and say, well, just give me a shot. Why? What have you said to me that adds value to my life? Okay, we'll get into customer centricity in a little bit. Commodity to asset. Commodities struggle, sometimes they die during economic downturns, increasing competition, and also disruptive technology. When we look at taxis only had to worry about competition. I remember yellow taxi from living in New Jersey and going to New York a whole bunch. That's all you saw was yellow taxi, yellow taxi. And if another taxi company came online, they don't really have a distinct competency. Who does? And who's the asset? Uber and Lyft. They've become an asset. Retail stores, big box chains, they're going away. They have less stores and or they are shrinking their stores because Amazon is killing them. Right? We want convenience. We're too busy. Like Kyle said, you're too busy to do a video. Well, you're not really too busy. It's about not being able to manage your time. Therefore, you get all stressed out and everybody else feels your stress. Sustainable assets thrive. Uber, Amazon, Apple, and so on. You say, well, George, I don't want to be a billion-dollar corporation. It's not about being a billion-dollar corporation. It's about following people who are successful and know how to be successful and who know how to pivot during stressful times. Transition from commodity to asset. As a realtor, you must have a deep understanding and define your distinct competencies and a compelling customer-centric value proposition. Now, I say as a realtor, I mean as anybody in any business. If you don't have well, what differentiates you from somebody else? Kyle said that there was someone, he got into the business, he just got his license 3 days earlier. Well, how many days was it?
On day one.
On day one. And all of a sudden he's doing these videos because he's confident in his ability to know what works and he just went for it. If you don't have that, why are you going into a business that's sales related where it's 100% based on what you kill is what you eat? You have to know this before you get involved in a structured model like that. Value proposition. Every single realtor I've ever met with does not know the value proposition. So we're going to have a little fun right now. I have a house, you want to list it. How many realtors are here? 2, 3, 4. I have a house, you want to list it. It's your dream house that you want to list. You say, George, give me the opportunity. Okay, come by 10 o'clock tomorrow. You come by 10 o'clock tomorrow. You see there's a line of realtors waiting outside. They're coming and going. It's your turn. Why should I have you list my house?
Our marketing.
I'm sorry?
Our marketing. Nothing sells for more money with less exposure, right?
Oh, so you said more marketing, nothing sells with less exposure. Is that what you said? And that's why I should pick
Nothing
you.
sells for more with less exposure.
Nothing sells for more with less exposure. I like it. Why should I pick you?
Just the marketing that we put out there. Anybody can take professional photos, we can do all that, but we're also going to do all kinds of video marketing that gets out on social media and all. And that's where a lot of buyers are nowadays.
Good. Anybody have another answer? Why should I use you?
Possibly like the personal relationship.
Possibly like? No. So I wouldn't hire either one of you because you gave me a generic answer, which is fine, and that's great. You're probably fantastic at what you and I'll do, and I'll bet you're super successful. But if you don't break it down and tell me the value about why I should hire you, and it's something that's distinct about what you do versus what anybody else does, because Kyle does marketing, he does online marketing, why shouldn't I hire you over Kyle or vice versa? right? So I'll bet you're fantastic at what you do, but I need to hear it in those words that let me see that value and know, wow, okay, not only does this person do marketing, but he's delved into it in a manner that lets me know I'm going to have exposure on certain days, certain times, certain amount of times, those days and times, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So we just need to think about, well, we don't need to do anything. If you're super successful and you want to dress like Steve Jobs did and not have to worry about what other people think about you because you have everybody else working for you, not a lot of business coming in, then you don't need to do this. But is that example you want to lead by if you have a team of people? Something to consider. No one can replicate your distinct competencies or your value proposition. No one can take it away from you once you identify them. Also keep this in mind. See the bottom where it says people who like you will listen? They will. Did you hear the reference earlier to what Kyle said? I have to keep going back to you because you stole my damn presentation. Did you hear what Kyle said earlier about... Yeah. Did you hear what Kyle said earlier about someone getting into the business and they find out that someone else has taken a listing with somebody in their family or a friend took a listing with someone else instead of using them? That's because people who like you will listen, but people who respect you will take action. Okay? If someone respects you, if you've done this work, you know why you offer, the value you offer and what's distinct about you, somebody's going to take action. Because they respect you. I don't care how much time you're in the business. What I care about is have you done the foundational work? Did you go to business school? Most realtors didn't go to business school. It doesn't mean I'm better than you. I'm here to impart my knowledge, my tools that have worked many times in my life. And every time I've been down, I've been able to come back because I use this foundation to get myself started. If you notice, I'm a lender. I want buyers. But am I speaking to you as a lender? No, I'm here to offer value to you because you are most important in my life. My purpose, and I'll mention it again later, my purpose is to make a positive, profound difference in the lives of everybody I meet. That is why I'm on this planet. Have you identified your purpose? Has anybody in here identified their purpose? What is it, Kyle?
Mine is to lead people better than I find them.
Nice. Anybody else? So if you don't define your purpose, how can you have the clarity you need? Kyle, what are your distinct competencies? Why should someone use you?
Oh, that's a great question. I should probably have a better answer.
Okay, and that's fine, that's honest, because I don't like when people go, and they give you a bunch of words to try to find something you either know or you don't. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. It's, here's information that we can use and start working on it because we want to prepare for the 20,000 new realtors that have come online in the last 2 years. Come on, that's serious competition. The disruptive innovation, it's coming. It's already here in some respect. The economic downturn, let's be proactive, let's not be reactive, okay? Your story, your brand, your customer. Kyle, you like this? I call this, or this is called the new aspiration economy. People don't buy what you have. They don't buy your services. They don't buy your products. What they buy is you. What is your story? What is your purpose? Your social culture? Your narrative? Does it align with my beliefs? That's what people buy. They don't care about you and your product anymore. Why? There's a new generation of young people who care about more than what you have to offer because thousands of other people can offer the same thing. But what is your message? What is your story? What is your heart? Who are you? Where did you come from? Hence the reason, starting the beginning of this with being humble, even though I said I made millions of dollars, I got my ass handed to me twice. And I can come back because of the value I offer to other people. It's not about me, it's about helping you because I know if you understand the importance of reciprocity, you will send buyers to me. And this is not a one-off consultation. I've taken you through my program, but how many times have we been in contact helping you with your marketing and constantly helping you with this program, distinct competencies, value proposition. I comment on your Facebook, hey, great job with this, right? So it's an ongoing relationship that I have. People spend money where they see value. They spend time where they see value. How many times have you seen somebody driving a beat up car, $2,500 car, $1,500 car, and they put $4,000 rims on it? Because that's where they see value. Some people see value in handbags and jewelry. Some people see value in investing in themselves. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. That's just where you see value. So why should someone hire you to sell their home or find a home for them if you've not provided value? How are you different than everyone else? Are you simply a referral? Is that good enough? Brands tell stories of their origin, heritage, craftsmanship, their purpose. Consumers talk about how, where, when, and what they bought. They buy into a culture, story, social, or environmental narrative. Being human, not a salesperson, being human, sharing your story is critical for customer acquisition and loyalty. Consumers buy into you and they're less likely to leave. They're more likely to be referrals. Not because you're nice, not because you have big boobs, not because you have the nicest things that you're wearing, but because you actually cared about them. And it's not saying, I really care. I've heard that from many realtors. Why are you doing this? Because I really care about people. Okay, that's not good enough. Why? And you've all heard, I'm sure, about your why, the importance of your why. Identifying that. We habitually rely on others to know what to buy, read, listen to. I call it sheeple. I don't follow that, but anyway. But what's important here is when these regular people, not athletes, not the hot model, not the celebrities, when these regular people start promoting something, we trust them. Why? Because they're relatable. We can relate to them. We think they are us. When the person who loses 100 pounds of fat can tell their story, they can have the worst supplements on the planet and the worst food protocol on the planet, but you're going to follow them because you can relate to them. They are you. They told their story. Let's not try to get everybody to be our client. Let's get to people to be our client who align with who we are, our core values, our beliefs, and so on. Okay? Marketing is about understanding your customers' desires first, then expressing or promoting yourself in a manner that's relatable. So what's your story? This is the slide everybody hates. Did you like this slide, Chandra? No, nobody likes this slide. And I think it's because there's an emotional impediment, my idealistic belief. I think it's because people don't see the value in it, which is unfortunate. And that's why I try to preface it by saying, Harvard Business School did the case study on this. This is what makes businesses successful because they've identified what comes naturally to them, nurture the things they've learned, their why, their patterns of failure and success, their purpose, their distinct competencies. Now let's go through this and have fun. First one is nature. What comes naturally to you? When I ask everything to you on this slide, this is stuff that needs to be written down and gone through and be introspective. Nature, what comes naturally to you? You wake up in the morning and you don't have to think about it. You just do it. Are you naturally organized? Do you naturally just go work out? What do you do? Do you do something with your family right away? Do you talk about core values? Are you structured in some way? What do you naturally do? I'll give you an example. I naturally have a munificent heart and a didactic nature, meaning I've always given value to people ever since I was in the 6th grade. I don't remember doing this, but I do remember the yearbook write-up in the 6th grade. Sandra, Spanish girl, I helped her learn English. I don't remember that, but I remember what she wrote. And so when I look at my historical patterns of success, they have been replicated many, many, many times throughout my life. That's what I do. That's my purpose on this planet. Didactic nature. I'm a teacher. I don't know how to live any other way other than teaching people. That's what I do, and I love it because I love to add value to someone's life. Nature. Skills you've learned. Knowledge. Maybe you graduated college earlier than everyone else. You tied your shoes before your brother did. What have you learned about relationships? Business relationships, personal relationships. What patterns do you express that are serving you? Which ones are not serving you? And so we'll go into this in a moment. Why? Why do you keep picking the same people? Why do you have the success that you have? Why do you lack the success you desire? Why do you continue to go down a certain road that stresses not only you out, but other people out? Why do you have the health you have? Why don't you have the health you want? Why? So I asked someone one time, how many houses do you want to sell in a year? He said 25. I said, why? He said, because I like money. I said, why? Well, I get to have nice things. Why? Well, because it feels good. Why? Well, and then all of a sudden he became real. And he said, when I was younger, my mom and dad didn't have money. He said they struggled. I was tired of seeing them live paycheck to paycheck. And that is where he became human. And if you're not willing to go through this exercise, then the question is, are you stuck in your story? Not right or wrong, good or bad. The question is, if you don't get what you want, are you stuck in your way of doing things? You don't adopt new technology. You don't want to change the way you do things. You still struggle, and you don't recognize how competition is increasing so much that it's going to affect you at some time. You will fail as a leader if you don't adopt what others are doing, especially the people who are bigger than you or more successful than you. Patterns. Historical patterns of success and failure. When you go through what comes naturally to me, when you go through all your nurture or your nurture afterward and your why, I want you to step away from it and say, okay, wow, these are my patterns. Write down all of your historical patterns of success, all of your historical patterns of failure. Why do you want to do this? Because you want to define your purpose. What am I doing on this planet? And then once you do all of that, only then, in my idealistic opinion and my experience, will you define your distinct competencies. How do I solve problems differently, not better, differently than everyone else? Okay? Jake, I want to sell my home in 5 hours. Can you do it?
In this market,
Right. In this market, yes. Okay. So, Jason, I want to buy a home in 5 hours. Can you do it? Yeah. Okay, good. You might not know how you can do it right now. We don't have time to go through that exercise. But what's really important is that you have already identified your distinct competencies about how you're going to solve the problem. Michael Porter, the most famous Harvard Business School professor we've ever had, most respected maybe, I should say, talks about how you want your brand to be represented and your uniqueness that makes you solve problems. How do you solve a problem in this market when there's not enough product on the market? What will you do that's unique to you that will make you stand out from every other realtor? How are you different? Not better. How are you different? And I emphasize that because we don't want to try to trick ourselves and thinking we're better than other people, because then really we're just fooling ourselves if we don't really believe that. But if you're different and you know how you're different and you express that to a prospect and it aligns with that prospect's beliefs, you've just won that prospect as a client. Again, getting back to your story, your purpose. Last part is, how has your current narrative affected your success? Success in relationships, success with your family, success with business. It's just a question. How has my current narrative affected my success? Be the success you deserve. Does everybody here have a business plan or some type of plan? Does anybody have one? You do? You have one? I'm not going to beat you up over this. However, if you've not gone through the exercises in the video before this, for the people who say they have a plan, those of you at home, if you have a plan, if you've not gone through the exercises I mentioned before this, then how can you possibly have clarity, direction, action items, milestones? I can't say goals because a lot of people have goals. They just don't know how the hell they're going to get there. They think they know. So one realtor, I took her through this and she said, I asked how she's going to get there. She said, I'm going to have, for this year, one of my goals, I'll have coffee with 100 people. I said, why? And she said, well, I want more business, George. I said, well, how are you going to do it that way? So long story short, we defined her competencies and learned what that was after about 3 sessions. And I said, why not put a Facebook page up that is specific for what you focus on, attract people there, and take those people to lunch? Oh, that's a good idea. Right, so let's be more targeted. Let's be more detailed and not just so high level. And it's really challenging for a lot of people, and that's okay. You're not supposed to know how to do everything. If you don't, you have people like Kyle, myself, and others that want to support you, right? Lack of awareness and distinct competencies, as well as a value proposition, lacks clarity of what makes you different, better, if you want to consider it better. The direction and the action items needed to be consistent and move in the direction of your goals. Frequency illusion, also known as the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. This is basically just top of mind. It's a selective bias where when you have an emotional attachment to something or to someone, you tend to see it more often. So you start dating somebody, they have a new 7 Series blue BMW. All of a sudden you start to see it all over the place, right? TV, street, all over the place, only because it's top of mind and you have an emotional connection to it. However, it's always been there. So what I share with people, until your customer-centered value proposition is imprinted in your brain, one lady said, I'm just going to interrupt myself here. One lady said, oh yeah, when it becomes me. I said, no, not when it becomes you, Because if you've done all this work previously that I spoke of, you will have identified it, it'll come out of you, and then you imprint it in your brain. It doesn't become you, it is you. Let's get it out of you. Everybody tries to hold things in their head and think they know it. No, you write it down. But until it's imprinted in your brain where you firmly believe it and have an emotional connection to it, you will miss many opportunities for the success you seek. I firmly believe in my value proposition. Kyle firmly believes in his value proposition and his purpose. We're moving with purpose in our direction that we know we need to go into. Alexandria, the same with you. You cannot fail. It's not possible. In my experience, it's not possible to fail once you know your purpose, you move in the direction of your purpose, you know your value proposition, and your distinct competencies. Can't fail. Can you have challenges where your company goes down? Yeah, but it wasn't my fault. Okay? So once you know that and you will feel really strong about it, I'm doing something I'm supposed to be doing because I looked at my purpose, my direction in life. You can't fail. Okay. Customer centricity. Who can tell me what it is without reading the board? What's being customer centric, customer focused? Anyone? Say it again.
Solving customer problems.
Solving customer problems. What else? How about just creating convenience? I'm never ever late on any bills. I have the best credit you could possibly have. One time, they called me and said I was late on a bill. There must have been a mail issue, whatever. I said, can you take it off? They said, no. I said, can you escalate it to someone else? They took it off for me. That's being customer centric. Right? Creating convenience. How about this? Decreasing the steps it takes to check out online. Who did this the best? Amazon. You find what you want, check out now, or buy now. It's buy it now, and you're done. You don't have to go to the checkout page. Decreasing the steps. You have a supplement company. Somebody's supposed to use it a certain way, and they're complaining about the supplements not working, and they ran out of this powder and this pill too soon, blah, blah, blah. Is it because they didn't follow your instructions? Probably. But if they didn't follow your instructions and they got lost, it's not their fault. It's your fault because you didn't properly explain it to where they could not fail. How can you be customer focused to assist someone in a manner that they will be successful? Okay? I love this exercise. I want any of you to yell out loud, or maybe not yell, if you can identify a distinct competency or customer-centric statement here. These are from Realtors. These are real. I found these. Contact me about this amazing home. No? How about seasoned realtor? I can sell or buy your home. No. Okay. How about I need 2 more clients to hit my record? Okay, that kills me. Let me help you find that dream home. No? I can help guide you through the process of buying or selling. Any of those a distinct competency or a value proposition? Absolutely not. It's all about me, me, me. Let me tell you what I can do for you. Like Kyle said earlier, you need to be authentic, add value to someone's life. Otherwise, why should they choose you? 140,000 realtors in Texas, 20,000 the last 2 years just came online. I guarantee you some of those people who just came online are going to do some of this homework. Let me see. First, there's no value in a proposition that lacks customer centricity, customer focus, if that's what that means. I don't want to get off track here. All right, I want you to try to identify the distinct competencies, not value adds, distinct competencies in the next slide. Here we go. Oh, my glasses. Oh, read this. Here we go. We got a little laughing going. Betty has a degree in communication. Try to define her distinct competencies. Degree in communication. After spending 20 years in sales, marketing, PR, consulting, and event planning, she became a realtor. She spent 10 years in Europe honing her business skills. Betty believes teamwork is an effective way to bring positive results for long-term clients. She has a concierge service and offers guidance and knowledge throughout each step of the process. Let me stop. Do we have any distinct competencies there yet? No. Okay. Betty's attentive to detail, constantly communicating, has a high-touch, extensive marketing plan, and unparalleled insights into marketing, which are a few qualities when dealing with Betty and her team. They remain at the ready to guide and assist in marketing your dream home. Anything yet? No? Okay. Betty and her dream are historic house specialists and have extensive knowledge with Dallas architects and developers, architectural designers, and historical building research. Anything yet? Okay. Betty's team also holds a certified international property specialist designation. the exclusive Global Design Award, awarded to realtors who make practical experience criteria that demonstrates knowledge and familiarity in transactions with goals. Don't think that was written correctly. Anything yet? No distinct competencies yet. They are members of the Myerson Center and bring personal insights to experiences to their clients. Any distinct competencies there that no other realtor could say? So they kind of have one. What did you say, Taylor? So I'm thinking it's more about the global designation. However, if you're in Lakewood or you're in Plano or anyone here and it has nothing to do with them, they're not moving here, how does it apply? Then again, anybody can get that if they go to wherever you take this test and get that. So here's the test. I want everyone to participate. How many homes did Betty and her team sell in 2020? Throw numbers out.
5.
Who said 5? What else? Give me numbers. What's your guess? I mean, this is impressive.
100.
100. Give me another number.
20.
20. The real number, Betty and her team, 6. 6. That's how impressive that is.
Right, 68.
6 toes, baby. That's how impressive that isn't. Because it was all about Betty, Betty, Betty. Let me tell you about me. Kyle, the car I drive, the things I wear, right? It's all about me. I don't care about you. Let me try to impress you about me. One of the things Sean and I, let me tell you, I really got broken into this business last year. We had a deal that just closed, and I put it on my Facebook wall. Did not expect to get the amazing response I got from about 60 people. It made me want to leave lending. It was that challenging. And it took 3 months to close. And it wasn't our fault, it was the borrower's fault. And I won't go into the whole thing, but my point is, again, going back to Kyle, he stole my whole damn presentation, is that nobody knows how hard you work. They have no clue what you do behind the scenes. They think you just look good, you show up, you're available on weekends, blah, blah, blah. How about the behind the scenes work that you go through, the challenges you have? Maybe we start posting those, not bitching about your day, but post, what did you say, picking up dog crap in the yard?
Yeah.
Right? And whatever it is that you're going through, and I could have probably done a video, hey, we're having a hard time with the buyer. I would never want that buyer to see that, but we're having a hard time with the buyer. It's taking us longer than it takes us to close. We only close in 30 days or even less. But the buyer didn't provide all their documents. I wouldn't say all that, but I'd have to come up with something crafty to let people know, I'm working my butt off for you. Our processor, my hand to God, stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning working on this deal to make it go through. Okay? We work extremely hard, all of us in this room. I don't care what your industry is, because we care. But nobody knows that unless we let them know. Let's move on. Samson versus Goliath. I could have said David versus Goliath, so use whatever you want. Real life situation. My home in the Park Cities, I needed to sell it, obviously, what I told you the story earlier. We had a seasoned agent. George, I've been in the business 30 years, 20 years in Park Cities. I figured that was good enough, hired him. 2.5 months later, I fired him. My name goes back in the leads list. I get calls from people. Girl gets me on the phone and says, hey, I'm so-and-so, you want to, blah, 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 starts selling herself on me. I said, hey, I'm busy right now. I'm about to get out of the car. I just got back in town. I got to pick up my dog. I'll call you back. No intention to call her back. She keeps pressing on. I said, hey, I appreciate it. I heard you, but I'm getting out of the car right now. I just don't have time to chat. I'll call you back. And then she kept pressing and pressing. I said, look, I've told you 3 times, I don't have time to talk with you. I've got to go. The fact that you won't let me get off the phone, I'm calling you back. And we both laughed. I hired her. How long did it take her to sell my home? Take a guess. Huh? 2 weeks. Now let's check this out. This is the fun part. For the people who are afraid that are just in this business for a short time, okay? 20 years in the Park Cities, 2.5 months couldn't sell my home. Okay, had all his contacts. 4 years in the business, in Plano, no contacts in the Park Cities. And a lot of people default to, well, she was persistent. If you persistently do something wrong, you keep consistently getting the wrong answers or wrong outcome. She wasn't only persistent, She went to SMU Law. She understood the importance of distinct competencies and a value proposition. That's what she sold me on. That's how she kept me on the phone. Kyle, how long does someone have on social media to get your attention? 1 to 3 seconds?
Maybe slightly more.
Slightly more?
Similar to what Alex said this morning.
I don't listen to Alex.
Yeah. That's probably smart.
Okay, so you see the comparison? It's not about how long someone's in the business. It's whether or not you can sell me on why I should use you. What are your distinct competencies? How are you going to solve my problem? What value do you offer? Leaders fail for 3 reasons. Our Dallas Fed chair, Robert Kaplan, was my leadership professor in Harvard Business School. He moved here, I think in 2015, he was offered the position. He was the vice chairman of Goldman Sachs. Intelligent guy, great guy. And you talk about leadership, he taught me a whole lot. First class, first day, he said, leaders fail for 2 reasons. I found a third one. First one is isolation. I don't think anybody in this room is isolated, especially if you're a realtor, you're not isolated. You can't be, you fail immediately. The second one, inability to learn. You don't want to learn, you can't learn. You know 7.5 billion people, but you don't want to adopt the new technologies, new way. You don't want to rise above to make yourself continually stand out. You want to grow your business, but you can't grow your business. You're in your own way. You can't be a leader because you're failing because you don't want to learn. You're stuck in your way and you're stuck in your story. The last one is, you're the smartest person in the room. You know 7.5 billion people, but you can't execute on your business plan. You're paralyzed because it's not perfect or you can't make it perfect or whatever the reasons are. You fail as a leader. Guess what? You're 1099. You're a leader. You're self-employed. You are a business. And you have to go through these exercises because that's what they teach you in business school. And that's what creates success. You're a potential buyer. I'm the realtor now, okay? And again, it doesn't matter if you're a realtor or not. When you're in this room, you can be part of this exercise. I'm the realtor now. I have given you marketing material. I've given you marketing material. You're going to turn to this page in the marketing material, and somebody please tell me what this page is telling you to do. I'm going to read this out loud for the people who are looking online. First one says 51% of buyers who found their home. 30% of buyers who found their home by working with an agent. 19% of buyers who found their home with signage, networking, and so on. What am I telling you to do? Chandra, be quiet.
Put your stuff online.
What is it?
Put your stuff online. Put your house online.
She's not a realtor and she just figured that out. Come on, realtors. It's exactly what I'm telling you to do. Don't use me. You don't need me. Chandra, you went through the exercise, so you can't say any of this stuff. You know the answers. Does that make sense? I'm telling you to go online and find your home. You don't need me at some level. You'll need me for transactions and stuff like that, but you don't need me to find your home. Look, relationships are most important. Building rapport is most important. If you do it online, we don't have this chance to do this. We don't have this opportunity. If you don't have this opportunity, you're losing the strength of the relationship. Next one. Can you define, in this next slide, any customer-centric proposition? If yes, why? If no, why? And I'll read them to you. The only thing I care about is the right side. 7 million Instagram impressions, 2 million viewers on Compass YouTube channel, 160,000 followers on social media. Where is there value there for someone who wants to list their home? Is that value?
No.
Does anybody say yes?
Not just in and of itself.
You can't answer. You're a social media expert.
Sorry.
I did say anyone though, didn't I? It's my fault. Can anybody tell me if there's value in that? Kyle's right, of course. There's no value in it. Let me tell you why. And I'm going to ask a bunch of rhetorical questions because it's not there, so I know the answers. Did they tell you that there's a different demographic for each platform? You speak to people differently on Instagram than you do LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook. Right or wrong, Kyle? Good, because if I'm wrong, I need to learn, so please tell me. Don't worry. Really? Okay, that's the first one. Second one is, did they tell you that there's a specific day or days of the week that you post to get the most amount of views? No. Did they tell you there's a specific time frame on those specific days to post where you get the most amount of views? And here's the big daddy. Did they tell you how many times they're going to post your house on those specific days during those specific times to get the most amount of views? No. This is a beat for me. It's all about me. Look at what I do, who I am, what I drive, blah, blah, blah. It's a waste of my time. And I share this with you with that intensity, that passion, because it bothers me. They're trying to dupe people. That's what's happening. And people get impressed by this because they don't know what they don't know. But if you want to establish a strong relationship with people, gather all of this knowledge, share it with them. Let them see how intelligent you are, how researched you are, and I can promise you, you will stand out from the rest. Politics, pets, and kids, oh my, Kyle, this is where you may need to straighten me out. If real estate is the only business you have, that's your only income, and you're struggling to meet your goals of sales, why are you posting about pets, politics, and kids? Now, I understand there's this 80-20, I think it's 80-20, 80% business, 20% personal, is that right? Or no?
Well, in that theory, it would be switched. It'd be 80 personal, 20 business.
To be able to gather new clients, it would be 80% personal? Wow. Thank you. I just learned something. I love that. A human touch is important, but what if you were to combine them? So this might be a moot point what I'm going through, but just stick with me. I tell people that posts are only seen by the people who are viewing it when they're scrolling at that time. So if you're not posting on the specific day, on that specific platform, at a specific time to get the most amount of views, that if you're posting something that's not going to benefit you to gather more clients, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Now, normally I would say if you're posting something personal rather than business, but I just learned from the master.
We're all different.
No, we're not all different. You have the stats. I don't. I'm going by what I know in my business, and that's only one business. So here's the next one. This lady did that. Combine them is what I've shared with other people. Combine your social media and your personal. This is her nephew. It was a video. She happened to be a friend of mine. I didn't know she was doing this. She never went through my program. I called her up and said, hey, can I use this? She said, yeah. I see value in that. She's telling me who she is, what she does, and here's a personal part of me. She melds her social media. Yes, no, Kyle? You like it?
I love it. But can I give a quick tip?
Please, I want to hear it.
So the post-it, the vision behind that is brilliant. What ruins it for me is that she put her phone number and email on there. Because that proves to the audience why she's doing it.
Agreed. So her authenticity, it's all about her.
Where like I can be any, I don't need you to tell me your phone number. And
So let me
it's
ask you.
more relational and that part's not.
Let me ask you this. If she just had the word realtor here, would that be okay?
I mean, it's already, like it already says that in the logo.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, it says it there. So nothing here, and that would be fine. Okay.
Or a little quote there, or, you know, I love being in a business where I can teach my young son how to do, you know, like, there's just more thoughtful things you can put
I like that. Thank you.
that would remind us of our humanity.
Thank you.
Not just themselves.
So last part, Google testimonials. Yvette, if you're still on, I don't see you up there. If you left, you're in trouble. Rarely does someone bring value like George. He's always growing and empowering others in business. His service is unmatched when it comes to coaching and servicing my clients. Make an appointment now. By the way, I don't coach. I do business consulting. There's obviously a difference, right? I'm not here for the rah-rah. I'm here to show you the business foundational tools to help you excel beyond your current level of success. Anthony Joseph, George is brilliant. His value is beyond any other lender I've ever worked with. Great communicator, extremely knowledgeable about his industry. And then the last one here is so excited working with George. Never had a lender so interested in helping me grow my business. Last slide. How do you win more clients? In our one-on-one session, I also train teams. I'm going to take you through these exercises, plus some more exercises, not just this. We'll discuss free marketing. So it's basically getting marketing without having to do AdWords, just like Kyle said. As a matter of fact, I'll probably take this off and just refer all of you to Kyle. Referral partners will receive exposure that's free to thousands of people you don't currently have exposure to. And remember, no other lender can offer you the value I offer you. None. Not any lender in the United States can offer you the value I offer you. George, what's your value? I'm the only lender that'll help you excel beyond your current level of success by incorporating both my Harvard Business School academic knowledge and my 29 years of business prowess in a consulting session, providing you the tools to help you succeed. You. It's about you. This is what I'm impressing upon you, all of you in business. It's not about you, it's about your client. If you offer enough value and they feel it, they're going to want to hire you. So I have a value proposition specific for buyers. You don't need it right now, but I want you to be proactive. And I'll share that with you in our one-on-one sessions as well. You get on an elevator, you have one floor to go. You know how fast one floor is. I can give you a value proposition that will knock your socks off. And that's all I have for today. So I hope that made an impact on your life and added value to your life today. I really do this because I love it. Sean, thank you. Sean, come on up. Come on. Come on, baby. Sean owns Sublime Financial. If you have any questions about lending, please ask him. Otherwise, he's just going to talk just briefly 2 minutes or so about Sublime.
Well, talking about competence, one of our competencies is George, who does a great job for us. But I think the main thing is I can get up here and tell you all the types of loans we can do. And you talk to anyone, they're going to say, we can do FHA, we can do VA, we can do all these things. And so can we. But we'll go to the wall for your client and do that extra to get that loan closed. Like the one George was talking about, we worked on that loan for 3 months. We had to have the guy refile his taxes because they were filed incorrectly and all sorts of things. So we will go the extra mile. We've got an incredible back-end staff with years and years and years of experience that will just go the extra mile and get your loans closed. And I think you'll be really happy with the experience. But we're also available 24 hours a day to pre-qual loans. And one of the things you'll find a lot of times the assigned lender to a real estate group, they work 9 to 5, or they have so many clients they can't get back to you quickly. We're turning around pre-quals in less than an hour, as long as the client cooperates and gives us the things that we need to do that. So that's really all I have, but give George a try. Use George, he does a great job, and we're the back end of that, and we'll get your loans closed for you.